bang. So let me just pull this up. Oh, I hope that just didn't do what I thought it did. When it says, "Are you sure you want to leave it may not save?" I go, "No," and it's gone. Oops. All right, let me just, fingers crossed. That took me ages to do. Cool, here we go. So screen share. So one of the things I've just added for you is it's under the sales tools. And again, some of you may not be here and that's okay, but just so that you know that this stuff is there. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah, great.
Yep.
So under the sales tools, under here, how to sell your hormone program, we've got a tab here that says seminars and webinars. And if you click on that, this will give Lynn will gives you the intro. And then down here, we've got all the different ones that we've used. And we've also got some slides that you can download that have got our logo taken off them. So you can simply just copy them or rebrand them for yourself, covering things like different habits to balance hormones, 12 tips to getting better sleep. Number one, women are using, get fat after 40, female belly fat after 40, and there's an original presentation here as well. Plus there's the enrollment form that we've always used, as well as the hormone health evaluation form. So that'll probably give you a lot of ideas. Lynn's used these ones, she can elaborate. She's used them a lot. We've used them for webinars. She's used them for online live presentations and things like that. So they're great educational. Lynn, you want to add to those ones? Anything there?
Yeah, absolutely. When you go through and listen to my intro video, you'll understand that I'm actually really quite passionate about doing seminars and webinars, and I never was originally, because being an introvert, I never liked standing out in front of people. But the only way I got over that fear was the fact that I was sharing something that they wanted to know. So that encouraged me to go out there and stand in front of people. And it's a really, really valuable way to bring the masses together and not only educate, but enroll in the masses as well. And I found doing seminars and webinars actually really rewarding in the fact that you were able to talk to ladies afterwards as well. But not only that, rewarding in the fact that it was quite a lucrative way of and time efficient way of making money as well. Because let's face it, we're out there to help as many women as we can, but we also want to be rewarded financially for it as well. I mean, it's just part of the parcel. And so doing seminars and webinars is really, really and enrolling them was a lot easier when it was in seminars, and not so much webinars, but particularly in face-to-face seminars, because of the fact that there were all ladies there. When one enrolled, it encouraged another to enroll, and it was kind of like a little community where they come together and share and feel secure, and so it was easier for them to make that next step into coming on board rather than the one-on-one. So go through and have a look at that, because even if it's something that you weren't thinking that you were doing, it really is something to consider. Really, really is. And when you do seminars, and it's really, especially face to face in gyms and that, it's really important to put value on your time and your knowledge and expertise. And even if it's, only $20 to come along, so be it. So I've charged anywhere for between, 25 and $50, and then enrolled people on top of that. So it's been really, really valuable in that sense, but also reaching out to a lot of people, especially when you're in the gym environment, because you're actually reaching your warm market really well.
Yeah, a lot of questions on my side at the gym too, Lynn. It's looking quite lucrative at the end of the day. At the moment, I've got 16, 17 women interested in joining.
Awesome.
Yeah, well done, Danny.
Yeah, it was I did an expressions of interest, and I gave them a hormone form, and so it was interesting to see what they came back with and how keen they were to start. So I'm looking forward to reading Paul's side of the fence.
Yeah, absolutely. That's excellent. Really, really is.
I just don't have any forms or any test kits yet.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Because all you need to have is enrollments. Because when it comes to having test kits, they really won't probably be starting it off by the time you do it until the new year anyway. So, and the laboratories are usually closed over Christmas and things like that anyway. So, it's people understand. You just have to keep them excited and the best way to do that is to put them on Facebook and put a group together and add the ladies into the group and start feeding them some valuable information and hints and tips and get them excited. And, it really does. You don't have to have it all together to get going.
Yeah. I'll be doing that when I have time off.
Yeah.
When that happens. I got a Boxing Day. How's that?
Yeah. So do you want to share, Danny, with the others just how exactly how you've piqued everyone's interest and what's been
generally,
successful for you?
What I did originally is I went to the manager and said, look, this is what we're going to do in the gym. Now we need to put something together that's going to entice new members and or our current members as far as contractual agreements are concerned as far as the gym is. And it's cheaper for them to come into the gym without a contract. So we're finding that that's a better way to attract new members into the gym. So if we can offer them that to come on with this program, then that's going to be even better. So from there it was, because I run 5 group classes a week, plus I do my PT stuff. And I was just mentioning what was going on, showed a couple of ladies the forms. Well, as soon as I did that, can I take this home and have a look at it? Yes, you can. Take this home. So, and then the word just rolled down. So every session I was doing, the women saying, oh, look, I understand you've got forms here. Can I have a look? And I said, yep, this is going to be starting next year. And there's going to be a cost involved, but feel free to fill it out. And early next year we'll get together and we'll talk about stuff, what it looks like to me, and then we'll go from there. But there will be a cost involved. The program will last at least 6 months, and we'll see how you run. So so at the moment, 16 expressions sitting there in my folder.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like just smashing it there, Danny. So
that's not even advertising in the gym. It's just word of mouth at the moment. I haven't even put it on Facebook or anything.
Wow. Danny, the menopause guy.
Man.
Play on words there, Lynn. I loved it.
I can see our next marketing campaign coming up. I've got men gym owners in my site. Menopause.
Yes. Yes. Male hormone. I believe it's coming, mate. So just watch this space. That's incredible.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So, Paul, what form did you use when you said you had handed out forms?
Oh, that hormone forms.
Yeah, is that the health
Justine,
evaluation form, Danny?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
tick
Yeah,
box,
that-
what are they?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, look, I
didn't-
tell you
I
what.
didn't change any information on it. It's just as what Lynn sent to us because we couldn't change anything.
Yeah.
But they went, oh, yeah. But it doesn't matter, Lynn, because if your name's attached to it, it's going to be a success. I believe that because people are starting to look at you now on the on Facebook.
Oh, cool.
So that's the way it's
That's
going to
awesome.
happen.
That's very good. So so the health evaluation form it was such a simple form that I put together, and it's been one of the most valuable forms that I ever put together, and it's also one form that I also use in seminars as well. So I always refer to the health evaluation form, and I always give it out at seminars, not at the beginning, but at the end. A valuable resource or tool in order to get women's attention, because of the simple fact is that most women actually think that what they're experiencing is part of aging, so they accept it. And a lot of them don't even know that what they're experiencing are symptoms of hormone imbalance. And most of them don't even know that it can be fixed until they tick the boxes.
Well, that's right. Yeah, they go, oh, really? Yeah, and they're quite surprised. Quite surprised indeed.
So Danny, when it comes to the membership side, did you say that there's no contract for them and you're just including it into their, is it?
Their weekly fee is over and on top of the cost of the program.
Yeah, sure.
So it's an extra cost, obviously, but the incentive is you can come into the gym without a contract, provided you're part of this program.
Nice.
So
that's an incentive.
Yeah, it is. It's quite a big incentive too. They do have to pay an admin fee, of course, but that's only a once-off. Once they've joined the gym, it's a once-off fee. So they can pay. Well, I think they're under about $14, but don't quote me, $14 a week.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a pretty good deal for them to come on in.
Beautiful.
Danny, can I please ask you a question?
No.
Was that a no?
Yeah.
Well, I'll do it anyway.
Okay.
Whether you answer it or not is up to you.
Okay.
No, I'm just wondering how far you've got as far as your business name and that goes, and not sort of running under Lynn so much, and, fitness, etc.
Oh, look, I haven't given it too much
rest
thought
with
at the
that?
moment, Annie. Basically, I'm just playing with hormone health and fitness, things like that, something simple. And as we said last Monday, I think it was, you need to know what it's about with the name. So under my existing name, my company name is Venom X Fitness Training. So, that's not very good for menopausal women to come and join me.
Not.
So,
I guess we can turn quite venomous when we want
because if they jump onto my website, they probably wouldn't want to come near me. But for what I do as a trainer, but so I've got to play with that. I'm not really fussed with it at the moment.
Sure.
People know my business, but if I'm going to start to advertise on Facebook, obviously I'm going to have to.
Name, apply for a new business name. Is that what you is that your next step?
Could do, trading as. Trading as, yeah.
Okay.
So it's not a biggie, but that's where I'll look if it starts to escalate too big. Apart from that, I'll just keep advertising under the Venom X name with Hormone Health and Fitness and just see where we run from that. If I need to, I'll look at something a little bit off to the left or right.
Right. Can I just ask you, Lynn, I remember there was one of those forms that I said to you, it had a copyright of yours at the bottom and you said, oh, that shouldn't appear there.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering, when we get to do our own forms and things, is that a statement that has to go at the bottom of our forms, and how do you go about getting that copy?
But just put your name on there, your business.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I wasn't even sure how you go about that and whether there's some legal.
No, it's a good bluff.
Did you say
Can
bluff?
I ask a question?
Yeah, it's a good
about
bluff.
that?
Okay, Danny, I'll take it as a bluff.
Yeah. No, I'll copyright. Oh.
But just on that question as well, right? So if I'm looking at, so say I have my business name and then my promotion for the marketing is menopause management or managing menopause and body aches and pains, for example. So I shouldn't have to register that. What if someone else comes in and goes and they're just going to go under the same managing menopause, for example?
There's a difference between intellectual property. You see on the back there, I've got all my trademarking intellectual property there for Meno Fitness there on the wall. So you do have to apply for intellectual property and trademarking through the, through the trademarking, the government website. Can't even remember, it was so many years ago that I did it. So yeah, if you don't want people to steal your name, then you do have to trademark it.
Okay, yeah. Yes, that's what I was thinking.
So there's a difference between copywriting and trademarking.
Trademarking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there, ladies.
Okay.
Hormone Health and Fitness is mine.
Oh,
All right, don't touch
all right, Danny. Okay.
Managing menopause is mine.
it. Okay, you got it. Remember, I can see you. I know where you live.
So I've got one question from Andrea that she brought up. So before, I'll just grab it. So before while I'm finding it, if there's anything else, or Paul, you want to add something, go ahead. I'll just find Andrea's post.
Well, another question I have is maybe I've missed it. I've had a few computer issues. This Windows, this 10, I tell you, I don't like it very much. You know how you said we've got the blood referral form to give to our clients to take to the doctors? Can you just tell me what heading that's under, please, Lynn?
It should be just under doctor referral letter.
Okay.
Yeah, under the heading, it will be
the
under
section.
How to fix. How to fix.
Mm-hmm.
Are you there, Paulie?
Yeah, I'll pull it up now and have a look while you're talking.
Okay. All right, great.
All right.
Yeah, so I am pretty sure that will be under how to fix, how to read.
The results, etc. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
To read results. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't.
I've just got a question. When I look at the results, some of those sheets, I don't know whether other people find that when that first comes up, it's really blurry and then all of a sudden it becomes a lot clearer. Is that happening on other people's computer screens as well? Oh, okay.
Fine.
I just want to know, you found that as well, Justine? Yeah.
Yeah. It does clear, but at first
it does come clear, and
your eyes.
Yes. Okay. So I just don't know whether that can be sharpened up so that.
You mean I went and bought new glasses for nothing?
Hope you went to Specsavers.
Oh, OPSM, come on.
Are we talking about the videos?
The samples.
Exactly. Yeah, the examples of the test results. A lady called
Oh,
Anita.
the case studies.
Yes, thank you. The case
yeah,
studies, when their pathology results and that come up, for the first, it could be as long as 30 seconds or 45 seconds. There's no way you can read them. And then it clears itself and it becomes quite clear, and then you can read. And you're sort of saying things and we just can't read it until it actually becomes nice and clear. And I wasn't
Is it just one or all?
It was particularly Anita's today. Have you, Justine, can you think of
have, but I
somebody
can't
else that you've seen it on?
There's a few things that
Yes.
I bring up and it takes a bit like that.
Me
and
too.
You're right. And then I
Okay.
try and relate to what you're
Sometimes
saying
when it
then
comes
and
to YouTube videos, you can adjust the what do you call it? Let me just get it up.
Focus? Or
It's called
Sounds like a hormonal issue to me.
Danny's out of here.
oh, it slipped my mind as to what it is. It's in there. Is it something to do with the pixels or something?
I'm just
Like
checking
you can go.
on the site, and they're coming up on my one, crystal clear.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, so it is on your own. You can adjust
On your own
I
screen.
remember it happened to me many years ago, and I found that.
That's all right.
let me
It does
just,
improve.
I
It
just
definitely
have to-
does improve,
Yeah.
but you can be sort of 45 seconds before you can actually read what you're talking about.
Let me just find the correct
Sure.
terminology. So
Okay.
And
that
which was it, Justine? Your question? Which form was I looking for? I got sidetracked and all that.
the blood test referral
Pathology.
form.
Okay.
Pathology, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
I may have to look into what YouTube have changed all their appearance. You know, they're doing a new format, and
That's
it's
okay.
not. It's to do with the pixels in that, and you can change it. I know that. Let me look into that one, and I will post that into the group for you.
Thank you. That'd be
Yeah.
great. Thanks.
Yeah. And I'll have a look at them on my computer as well to see if I can see them clearly or not.
Obviously, Paul was. He was seeing it clearly.
Yeah, it's clearer as my one.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well.
Apple computers, you see, they're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, mate.
Did you find that form?
I'm just having a hunt. Where did you think it would be under? Which section?
How
Which one?
saliva and blood results. Download.
I'll do a screen share then if you want to just sort of guide me.
Yeah. Is it not in there?
Where to?
Yeah, I would have thought that would have been under how to test your client's hormones.
I don't remember seeing it there.
No, that's just a slideshow. And we're looking for the referral letter. Is that what it is?
Yeah, doctor's referral letter.
I haven't
Okay.
come across it, but I
I'll
haven't.
tell you what. As you guys are talking, I'll chuck it in this section here.
Okay.
I would have. Definitely would have thought that it would have been under that one there. Doctor's referral. how to test hormones. Yeah, look, Paul will pop that in now, and I will have a proper look. And if we need to change the position of it, we'll let you know in the Facebook.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
sounds good. Yeah, you can do it when you're concentrating a bit better.
Yeah. Because what I'll have to do is I'll have to go over my slides to see where it fits in which part. So it could either be under saliva and blood results. Yeah, I'm thinking
Sounds right.
maybe.
That's fine. If you post
Okay,
in,
well, I'm
that's
glad
great.
you brought that up. That's fantastic. Yeah, perfect. Okay, when you figure out what the is it, I think is diet that is specific to whatever hormone dominance they have. Do you know how to do this? And she thought she was jumping ahead. Okay, so basically she's asking about once. Oh, there you are there. Once you find out the hormone imbalances, how do you prescribe food? Well, one thing is that there is no food that creates hormone imbalance. Like there's no specific diet that is specific to estrogen dominance or low estrogen or anything like that. So when it comes to food, basically what we're looking at is how their food is influencing their hormones, good or bad. So when we look at what they're eating, now, for example, if someone is eating lots of preservatives and chemicals and processed food and stuff like that, just by removing or adding in some fresher food, it's going to have a huge, or a different hormonal response within their body. Yep. So specific foods like phytoestrogens are good for women with low estrogen, okay? But at the same time, she has to eat copious amounts of phytoestrogens in order to bump up her estrogen levels, if that makes sense, So it's really just about balancing her diet out so she gets the specific hormonal response that you're looking for. And the only way we do that is, if we look at her stress, because that has an insulin effect. We look at her estrogen, that has an insulin effect. Okay, so more estrogen means she is more sensitive to insulin, which means she can eat more carbohydrates. But if she has low estrogen, it means she's less sensitive to carbohydrates. So, the lower the carbohydrates, the better. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's not a specific diet. You just have to look at the individual person. Now, when we're talking food, basically we're just talking whole food diet, really. Let's face it, that's what we should be eating.
Sure.
A whole food diet, lots of leafy greens, and lots of natural foods. So, and when it comes to supplementation, that is up to, that is really within your scope of practice. That's what you really have to remember. It's within your scope of practice. But all my clients are on a probiotic, because remember, the thing is, I look at their gut health first.
Yeah.
Okay, because our gut is our second brain. And even, is it Hippocrates or, 2,000 years ago says that all disease begins in the gut, right? So gut health is so important. That's one thing that I really work on, because gut health, when you fix gut health, you fix constipation. When you fix constipation, you fix estrogen dominance and toxins. Okay, when you fix gut, then you're absorbing more nutrients and you're increasing energy. Okay, when you're fixing the gut, you're fixing iron absorption within the body, so you've got more energy. When you fix the gut and feeding the cells, and then you've got a better hormonal response, so you're balancing hormones. Okay, so I always fix the gut first, and so all my clients go on probiotics and fermented foods, and things like that, if they like them. Of course, if people don't like fermented foods, well, you can't force someone to eat it. It's not about that. But I encourage, gut-friendly foods and probiotics in high doses if they are stressed. Okay. For adrenals, I always put them on vitamin C powder, because our adrenals, zap vitamin C, magnesium, and zinc. So those are the three things that go first. So, I always put them on vitamin C. I look at their magnesium and zinc. When it comes to thyroid, if they've got thyroid issues, I always put them on something like Thyroplex, which is a bioceuticals. If they've got low vitamin D, I always put them on vitamin D drops, not tablets. It's always drops because it's more bioavailable. And I usually go for bioceuticals in that brand. But it's also, really important for you to remember what is within your scope of practice. Okay, that is what's important. And if it's not within your scope of practice, then yes, you will have to look outside to like maybe a naturopath to prescribe that for your client. Does that make sense?
Yes, makes perfect sense. Did it take you a while to feel confident enough to do all of that, Lynn? Thinking back to when you were first sort of advising ladies along the lines of what you've just said there, I would sort of, at this point in time, sort of feel hesitant to do that on account of not much and all as I take nearly all of those things myself. I've always got that sort of concern that they're going to be taking something perhaps that a doctor's prescribed for them, that there could be reason to suspect that you shouldn't take one at the same time as the other and that sort of thing, and there might be some sort of conflict of interest there.
Yeah, look, really good comment there, Annie, because it is really important to take into consideration their medication that they're on, or any prescription type, sort of over-the-counter prescription type sort of medication. And in that case, what I do suggest is that you really network with a naturopath or something, and really get to know a naturopath. And one thing is that what I did was Mia Robinson, and you'll see her in some of the videos that I interviewed. I became her client to start with, and then of course we built up a business relationship, and we worked very closely. So I was able to network with her. I was able to ask her questions, and just go, okay, this lady client's got high homocysteine, what would you recommend? So everything that I know has come from a naturopath, from a qualified naturopath in that sense. So I've always had someone to fall back on and ask advice or anything like that. And in the case, like I never ever diagnose, never. So if in any case I think that there's a case where, for example, if they've got high antibody, autoimmune issue or anything like that, I always refer them back to a doctor if they choose a doctor, or if they choose a naturopath, always refer them. And in fact, I do refer to Mia if someone, would like a naturopath, and, we just bounce off each other like that. So it's really important to get sort of a network of people into your, into your sort of little hub, so that you can, and the thing is, the great thing about that is you can do webinars. See, I did one of those webinars in there. I did up slides, but I had Mia come in and do like a guest speaker type sort of thing. You can have them come into your gym and do guest speaking and things like that. So it's really good to network with other practitioners, even doctors, or it's really important.
Thank you. Yes, that's exactly what I probably thought you'd say, but I just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Yeah. But as you go through and you learn more, and I just researched, adrenals, like everything that I've learned over the years is just from, doing courses and like watching videos. Already know, but there's always that golden gem that you take away. There's always like, oh, well, that was interesting. Always open to watching other people, even people in the industry. It's great to watch what other people are doing and get golden nuggets from them and, learn. So, I've done lots of courses with hormone doctors in the States, with fitness, I've done fitness courses and hormone courses with people over in the States. So everything that I have learned has come from bits and pieces of what I've done, and I've just put it all together. So even when it comes to exercise, hybrid exercises are not new. It's been around in the industry for a long time. Rest-based training was coined by Dr. J. Teeter from Metabolic Effect in the States. So that's not new. He coined that. And so, interval training has been around for donkey's years, So it's just all its little bits and pieces that I've brought together, and I've just found what worked for my clients, And that's why I always say that what I'm teaching you here is not necessarily what you may go off and do fully. You may just take bits and pieces, because that's all I did, was to pieces from everything that I learned and put it together to what suited me. Because what suited me may not suit you, Annie. You're in a different field, and Danny may be in a different field, and Justine may be in you know what I mean? So you've just got to take bits and pieces of it to whatever suits you and put it together, because we all have different styles of training. But the one thing that you've got to remember is that not one size fits all.
Yeah.
And particularly when it comes to women 40 plus, you really have to individualize it, and the only way that you can do that is by getting to know them as a whole. Okay. And even though I've said that there's two common denominators with women is insulin and cortisol, okay, food and exercise. Hey, that's simple, food and exercise, right? But their lifestyle choices are all different, but all influence those common denominators. So that's what you've got to know, is what their lifestyle choices are, and individualize it accordingly. Okay?
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep, that's fine.
All right. So I hope I've answered that all okay.
Yeah, fabulous. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So whereabouts are you up to, Annie?
I didn't get on it today because I was having trouble with the internet today. Just going more into the exercise component of it, and I have been training my 40 plus ladies in the gym in the last actually probably since last Wednesday or Thursday, I'm trying to get them to work much more at 100% then since our conversation, and giving them more rest time. So even they have already noticed a difference, but they're saying to me that they don't mind working that bit harder, knowing that they've got more time in between. So already they can feel the difference, because normally I'd say sort of 15 reps, 45 seconds off, let's go again. So already I'm getting some feedback from them going, oh, this is different, but I actually really do enjoy that rest time in between and a bit of a chit chat, but not that much rest that they're not ready to go again. Week. And getting good feedback on it as well.
Awesome. That's wonderful. And
yes.
Justine, isn't it? It just says on your little thing, Justin.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, your name tag says Justin. I'm like, I'm sure it's Justine. Yeah. Where are you up to, Justine?
I'm the same. I'm going through the exercise side of it and just making all my notes. I'm just about to wrap up with all my clients tomorrow and finish through the 7th of January. So, yeah, just putting little bits into play to put a nice maybe seminar together, come back on the new year, and just going and getting in my head the process of how I want to launch it next year. We'll be late January because we're very busy on the farm in January. We have a lot of cattle sales. We've got about a head of 1,000 to sell. So
nice.
January's a busy time, but we'll fit it in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Apart from Andrea in New Zealand, but in the States. So she's come on board just recently. And one thing that feedback that she gave me was she asked if there was a manual because she's furiously taking notes. So I have encouraged her and others to, all the feedback to go into the group because this will benefit all of you as far as, questions and feedback go. So, which is great. A manual is really good. It's a good idea. So this is only in the beta testing stage. So any kind of feedback like that would be absolutely wonderful because, Paul and I are here to take that feedback on board so that we can better serve you moving forward. So that's one thing that she suggested as well. So that's really good. The other thing that I was going to mention too is what happens between now and the new year is really, really important. It's because I know it's Christmas time and a lot of people shut down, but it's actually it used to be as far as, for me, when I was selling courses earlier and coaching, the busiest time for me. Most people actually think about closing down and going on holiday and we'll start up again in the new year. But it's actually, for me, I was rearing to go now because when it comes to the new year, so many women are thinking about their New Year's resolutions and, they've just eaten so much over Christmas and everything like that. They're actually rearing to go. So just bear in mind that the new January, if you choose to, could be your busiest month. Okay, so like Danny now is taking on board people now, I always took enrollments now to start the new year. Okay, so just because you take payment doesn't mean to say you have to start a program. All right, when people actually pay, they become more committed. And now is the time to really get that out there, like now. So you want to bring them on board now and say that your program is starting first week, second week in January. Okay, that's what it is. So bring them on board, make them pay, because and even though people, the thing is like even though some people go, oh, you know, oh, sorry, that's my dog, finances. But it's, believe it or not, women are forking out money now. You know, they're forking out money for presents and things like that. So they're in that spending mode. They're in that spending mode now, and they're really, you know, if you can future pace them to January, when after they've had all their Christmas pud and everything like that, you know, how amazing would it be to get into the program and start, you know, rocking the 2019 on a good foot by balancing your hormones. They love it.
I just think with that, like my confidence with that would be, I haven't quite got in my head or understand how I could tackle it on a group situation instead of like the one-on-one, because obviously you're going to have to charge so much and then you're put back in the same boat of time consuming. So I think I could definitely do that marketing, but I feel like, oh, well, I haven't quite got the product in my head yet of how I'm going to go about delivering it to them, the order, or, you know.
Totally agree, Justine.
Sometimes you don't have to know at all. And no, trust me on this. Like if you know, Paul might want to step in here, but you know, if we take, for example, this course, we didn't even have a course developed prior to selling it to you guys. Nothing. We had an idea.
Yeah.
And
developing it as you go along.
And then because of the whole point is, and I learned this a really big lesson many years ago, was I spent $10,000 putting a website together. I spent thousands and thousands putting the hormone enhancement program together, and I didn't even know if it was going to work.
Yep.
I didn't even know it was going to work. And it wasn't until Paul and I embarked on this journey here, and we were actually taught to pre-sell prior to putting something together, to actually test the demand, whether there was a demand for it, that we kind of went. And for me, I remember saying to Paul, oh my God, it's kind of scary and exciting. I've never done that before. And it's kind of the best thing that we've ever done. And if I look back at when I put the hormone enhancement program together, if I had have put it out there and found out what these women wanted prior to developing the hormone enhancement program, it probably would have been a lot different to how I created it, because of the simple fact that I created it around what I thought they wanted, rather than what they wanted. Does that make sense? And so for Paul and I putting this course together, we've created it around what you guys want.
Can I jump in? I'm so excited. I get to talk finally.
Family.
Oh, what did Paul say? He could talk finally.
Yeah.
I'm just,
You're going to get a slap, I tell you.
yeah, I can't reach from there. Yeah, no, and when you guys get to the sales and marketing section, the way that we wrote the ads, I don't know if you're still seeing some of our ads kicking around, but we wrote them even as we were sort of approaching this. And this is not the first time that I've done this. I quite often do this. I'll have a conversation with somebody, and I'll hear what needs to happen, and I've created mentoring programs on the spot. Sold it, and then, you know, collected the money and sat down and worked out how to deliver it. So not everybody is going to be comfortable doing that, and we appreciate that. So please don't feel like you have to do it that way. You're already trainers, you already know how to attract people, so do what you feel comfortable with. But it's certainly been a big it's a great way of doing things in our way, because we just learn to take that leap of faith that when you start communicating, people are showing interest, you've only got to be one step ahead. Like, you've only got to be 1 week ahead of the people that you're bringing through your program, because you can say, like Danny, for example, he's got, 16 expressions of interest, and he can say to them, right, ladies, we start week 1, on the of whatever week, say the 10th, 1st of February, for argument's sake.
Yep.
And they can show up on the 1st of February, and he can say, right, we're going to do a group session to start with. And they go, okay. So they all show up. He says, geez, I better put that together. You know, he can put it together the night before if he wants to, or he's got a whole month to put it together. And he says, okay, first thing we're going to order your saliva test kit. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to do. Until we meet next week, you fill out this form, you fill out this diary, fill out this worksheet. You know, like, you can create it as you go if you feel comfortable. I've always preferred to create that way. It's just, for me, it feels more magical, and it's always worked better. But if you need to have everything mapped out and planned, then please, you know, go for it, because that works as well.
Yeah.
So in that respect, then, so say you're using a warm market, so you're using your clients already. So like Danny said, he's got about 16. So same, I've got about 15 ladies, and creating that, I'm thinking, how do you meet them all at once? So you can meet them like we're doing, but I think for me, the confidence would come with that. But maybe the warm market, have a meeting night where you all come together. Would that work, do you think?
Yeah, we'll do. You've got to remember that it's going to be difficult to please everybody at the same time. So just be aware of that. Always go for them. You set the dates and work with the ones that you can, and you'll figure out what days work and what days don't in time. And yeah, like, you know, once you start that meeting process, you know, it'll kick, it'll go, and you'll get a feel for how much you can charge, how much value is there. Yeah, you'll really take off once you do it once, and especially for you, Justine, being, you know, how remote you are, and your background, and where you're wanting to go online. I've got no doubt you'll start to hold these kind of meetings, and, you know, eventually you may be doing recordings because you can leverage more people. So
Got you.
Actually, you know what? I'll make a recommendation. I bought this for somebody today. I've read the book once. One of the best books I've ever read. It's called The Magician's Way, and it's authored by a guy called William Whitecloud. He lives in Byron Bay, and it's a great analogy of, you know, some people they follow all the rules and it just never really works. You just can't understand why. When you cross all the T's, you dot all the I's, you do all the study, you do all the application, do all the practice, and you just don't hit the mark. And yet there are people that just sort of walk with their eyes shut and pull stuff off incredibly. Well, the magician's way is about tapping into that creativity that we have, that genius that you've all got within you, that if you would just have the faith to trust it, everything will happen. So it's a great book. It's a wonderful metaphor.
Right. Thank you. I'll try and source that.
Absolutely. And Paul was right. You know, the thing is it's a great opportunity to capitalize on now for the new year. However, you know, for example, I mean, I've never, I've always created first and then, you know, on sold. And Paul's done it the opposite way. So for him, it wasn't scary. For me, it was like,
yeah, she was in panic mode, totally.
I was in panic mode. Yeah, I was. But I tell you, the only other time that I actually ever did it when I first started my coaching, one-on-one coaching with women, and I sold my first coaching package, 6-month coaching package. And I rushed out to my husband and I'm like, yes, I've sold it. And then suddenly the excitement dulled down and I said, oh, what am I going to coach her on? Because I actually didn't have anything organised. And I was coaching her the next week. I'd made her appointment and I'd made everything and I was so excited. And then suddenly it all dawned on me I didn't even know what I was coaching her on. But my husband said, why don't you just coach her on what you know?
Yeah.
Good idea.
You know, and I'm like, he goes, you have your horn and
What a sage.
I know. I know. So, so yeah, it's just about trusting in yourself, and you know, you actually know more than what you lead yourself to believe, and that's where the support is here. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. When you guys get to go through, if you haven't been already, we've got the basic enrollment form, or the session, not the form, sorry, my bad,
Yeah.
the format to follow, and understand that's been built on really high-end sales approaches, and my background was in timeshare and investment property that people would buy sight unseen, and they'd spend $500,000 after a couple of hours of a conversation with no idea what they were there for. And not to sound like we're being dodgy, we weren't, but there's a formula to building incredible value, and you learn this. And I know when you guys get to it, you're going to start bringing these to the calls, which I can't wait for. That's my spot. You'll see just how undervalued PTs can make themselves, gyms can make themselves, because oh my God, when you can ask a series of questions and you have people literally bursting into tears asking for your help, the value, I don't mean the price, but the value, which is a subjective emotional experience, and it's different to all of us, but when you tap on that spot and people say, I want you to fix my marriage, Danny, or I want you to, I want you to repair my, whatever it is, it's nothing to do with the gym or losing fat.
Sure.
When you get to that spot and you get good at it, that's why I'm telling you this program, especially if you're going to go online for Justine, there's no reason why you can't put together something for $2,000.
Yeah.
So it's an exciting spot when you get to it. The whole thing will click into gear, and all of a sudden you guys are just going to be
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's brilliant. And Paul is a master at that, absolute master. But with my coaching and talking to ladies and going through those questions, and like you just ask questions and they just burst into tears. So there's no selling at all. It's just a case of offering them exactly what they want.
You got it.
I can't handle tears, that's no good.
But it's like you don't have to console them. It's not about going, it's okay, you can cry. There was no consoling, it's just silence, okay? Because you just, I mean, of course, sympathize. I'm here, I hear you. But it just allowed them to flow, because that's all part of the parcel. Because when they get to that point, they've got to the point where they really know that they need help, and they need your help. So when it comes, and you're just listening in the background, taking notes on what exactly it is that they need. So when you offer it to them, you just offer it in a way that you are fulfilling their needs. And do you have any questions, or are you just ready to come on board? Yeah, I'm ready. Okay.
There you go.
You make it sound so straightforward, Lynn.
It's easy,
I love your confidence in us. Appreciate that.
Yeah, but once you do it more and more and more, and it's like there's no selling involved. Okay, see, the thing is, before I ever went into any consultation or any chat or anything with any woman, I always set my intention, and it's never to sell. It's always to add value. Okay. How can I add value to this woman? Because that's what we're here for. We're not here to sell. We're here to add value.
Yep. Fabulous. Great way of looking at it. All right. Okay, we've taken up a lot of your time, haven't we?
You know what? A long one today. It's good.
Yeah, it's been really, really valuable. Thank you.
You.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. So we're here Thursday, aren't we, Paul?
Yeah, Thursday, and we better have a chat about Christmas calls and stuff like that. So
Yes,
All
thank
right.
you.
I'm guessing
Okay.
we'll take a week off or something like that. But yeah, we'll
Okay. Excellent.
Beautiful.
Okay, sounds
All right.
good. Wonderful. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
And
Pete.
See you later, guys.
you. See you Thursday.
Bye.
Ta-da.
Good night.